This is R.C Lahaye, and you're listening to Airey Bros Radio.
Jimmy and I are both level 1 coaches and have worked in the space on and off for quite a long time. And we have, that's one of our niches on here too, as well. We do wrestling coaches, we do CrossFit people, and then a lot of other things in between. So we're speaking our language.
When you get off, Google CrossFit Greenwood. I mean, it's probably one of the biggest gyms in the country.
Okay.
It was an old warehouse, and it's the size of a small Walmart. It's awesome.
Oh, right on. I will definitely check that out.
Coach, what's your favorite WOD?
Probably.
Heavy Olympic lifts.
I like doing the Adam Brown workout. It's just a lot of barbell movements. So I would say the Adam Brown workout's probably my favorite. Anything with running, I despise the most.
Now we're gonna kind of go down a rabbit hole because, like Rich said, you just hit one of our passions. Do you use that kind of style with the guys on the team?
We do. Yeah, we do. We do a lot of Metcon paired with strength with heavy strength movements. Yeah, that's pretty much a lot of our in-season training is. It consists of about 20-minute Metcon paired with a little bit more power and strength development. Pretty much all in season. Our training is a lot of that. Yeah.
Is that something you're doing, or are you working in conjunction with the strength and conditioning coaches?
No, that's a good question. So that's me pairing with our head strength coach here. Okay. And if you know, strength coaches don't always speak the same language as CrossFit people. So this is a bridge I've had to build over the last few years, but we've finally got something I think works really well with us and really kind of achieves both goals of making sure the guys are still strong, they're still building that high power output, but also, man, they got the gas tank, they got the metabolic conditioning to really wrestle hard for 7, 10, 12 minutes. So we've created a plan that can really achieve both, in my opinion.
That's awesome, because like you said, it's not always the case where CrossFit is welcome within the strength and conditioning community at the athletic level, at the college level. So, and we just spoke with Bill Grundler last week. He owns CrossFit Inferno out in California, but he also wrestled for Cal Poly and does a lot of their color commentary for their matches. And he was talking about how CrossFit is the best strength and conditioning program for wrestlers. It's high intensity, it can be heavy. You train in 7 to 15 minutes, and that's kind of really in that wheelhouse. He really broke it down to like how the Olympic lifts translate into like extending and getting underneath like a high crotch or a duck under, all that sort of stuff. So I think that's awesome that you were able to implement that and show the strength and conditioning coach that it would work. And obviously it's been paying off for you.
Yeah, it has, and I'll echo what that guy says. I mean, there's so many guys that when they ask me if there's one thing they should do in the summer, I tell them, go find a CrossFit gym. Like if you really want to, it's not going to substitute powerlifting. It's not going to substitute, high intensity. It's not going to substitute any of that. But if you're looking for one specific thing that can target the most parts of your body that are going to relate to college wrestling, it's go join a CrossFit gym where you're going to get highly diversified, functional training movements at a high level. That's what a college wrestling match is. And that's something I tell our guys and kind of lead by example and just, guys, stay active.
This is Bill Grundler, and you're listening to Airey Bros Radio.
Well, we got cut off last time due to the weather. You were on this amazing
rant.
Gold. I was trying to find the right word because I don't want to say it's a rant because it's like such a positive thing.
Yeah.
About the benefits of strength and conditioning, CrossFit specifically, how that correlates to wrestling.
Yeah.
And last week we had R.C Lahaye on. He is the head wrestling coach at Lander University down here in South Carolina. They're ranked number 2 right now in Division II. And he is signed up for his 5th Open.
He
goes to CrossFit Greenwood, which he said is like one of the largest, like square footage wise, CrossFits in the country. And he uses CrossFit with the wrestlers at Lander. He said it was
smart man.
He said he had to like work with the strength and conditioning coach to kind of maybe
Get
not
it.
sell them on it, but like get it.
No, they got to get it because they don't get it.
But he said that they use that, and last year they finished second in the country. Right now they're ranked number 2. So I just thought I'd share that with you. That there
that's
are
awesome.
some wrestling coaches out there at the college level that are using CrossFit.
Yeah, I actually saw whatever cut you guys had on your Instagram with him, and I was just kind of watching. I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's cool. Just kind of listening to him. So I didn't know that he did CrossFit. That's awesome. And the hardest thing that I've seen with getting CrossFit into any sport is that the coaches that do the sports generally coaches just in general are very territorial, and I don't mean locale wise, but like methodology wise. It's like, I did this and we got to the championship this way, or this is the way I did it when I came up and we were great, or I've done it this way and this is how it works. And I mean, I get it, man. I mean, the coolest thing about wrestling is, for the most part, yeah, you do a lot of lifting, but the movements that you do, moving objects, bodies around in the not most efficient manners. I mean, just because you're all stretched out when you're doing singles, or you're really elongated. It's not like this doing deadlifts with a trap bar where you can't mess it up and it's the most perfect setup that you could possibly do. You don't have that. So CrossFit is great for that. And it's just shocking to me that more people don't at least try it. I mean, and I'm talking about try it, not even that they need to integrate it into their program necessarily. I mean, I truly believe that if they try it and they get into it, then they'll recognize, oh shit, we can use it this way. Oh, this is where it is benefits. And I'm not even talking about just benefits as far as strength and conditioning. When do people get hurt? When do wrestlers get hurt? Tell me.
All the time.
Oh, I know, all the time. But like, when do they get hurt? Like, where do they get hurt most of the time?
When they're tired.
Wrestling live in the room, where everyone's sweaty, everyone's sloppy. And then when they wrestle, you get hurt, especially at the college level. It's really, the college programs are more of a machine than like the high school programs and stuff like that. So it's like, if you aren't the guy that's in the lineup, then you're kind of pushed off to the side until you're back in the lineup again. What I've seen is that when there are guys that can't wrestle, they don't have they're just kind of done, or they're running, something like that. That's the perfect opportunity to do CrossFit, because now you're doing as a rehab type of thing. You're able to rev the engine. You're able to move the pieces that aren't working or that aren't hurt just as much as you would if you were in a regular wrestling match. So you could do cleans. You could do, say you hurt your shoulder. Okay, fine. You can do single arm snatches, cleans, presses, rope pull-ups on one arm, all kinds of thrusters, goblet squats, front squats, back squats, burpees with one hand. When I tore my ACL, I did a whole lot of burpees with one leg. I mean, you can do this stuff, and that's what's great, is the idea of infinitely scalable and infinitely modifiable means that you can put it into whatever you want to do. So if you're injured, you can use it. If you're deconditioned, you can use it. If you're a high-end CrossFitter, you can use it. And if you're a wrestler, instead of just going out there, I mean, you obviously got to get your hands on people. You got to get your timing down. You have to be able to work your setups. You have to be able to do some live wrestling. But if all you're doing is hours of live wrestling and then going out and doing long runs, then I think you're doing a disservice to your strength, your power, your chance of injury, and then actually what's really relevant to you as a wrestler. But the only way, and just like what you said, he had to sell it to his strength and conditioning. Because strength and conditioning, they may understand the stuff, but they don't get it. They don't get it until they fully use it. They're all doing the NASM cert type stuff and the, National Strength and Conditioning, the NSCA stuff. I mean, that basic stuff. All right, guys, we're going to do a 1-rep max bench today. Okay, we're going to work on a 1-rep max back squat. How fast, how many calories can you go in, 30 seconds on the assault bike? I mean, something. But none of those things, unless you are a true lifter. I mean, we do 1-rep max stuff in here for sure. But it's to get percentages so that I can build people's fitness on that. Because an athlete is not going to be a one-shot deal. I mean, even if you're playing football, I mean, yeah, you're going to have to hit one time, but it's 15 seconds of going, and then you got to do that over and over and over. So I don't care what your 1 rep max is. I want to know what your 80% is that you can do 50 times, something like that. And I just haven't seen, and I haven't seen the buy off, and not because people don't want to buy off on it. I just think that, like, you know, what CrossFit is showing, and the methodology of that is a direct competition with the other things that are out there. So hats off to him for getting it in there. I'm telling you, man, I mean, did like in the last Summer Olympics, did nobody freak out when they show swimmers and they're doing the training, and swimmers are doing like tire flips and like, you know, battle. I mean, not that I think battle rope it's got its place, but generally speaking, swimmers doing battle rope stuff, that's not swimming. Why the hell are they doing that? Why didn't every coach go, why are they doing that movement and it's not swimming? What? I don't get it. Why is that happening? And I didn't see anyone do it. It's crazy. It's like especially for wrestling, it is the perfect match. Wrestling, MMA, you know, that's when you get into like the unknown and unknowable stuff. You don't know what's going to come up next. You can't train to know exactly what your run is and what your race is. You get out there and it's like, all right, see what happens. Same thing with fire, same thing with cops and military, and it's the same sort of deal. It's a fight. You don't know what's going to happen. It's all an unknown.